Hello everyone and welcome to a Manga Monday. Today I am going to be reviewing the manga Still Sick Volume 1 by Akashi. Now unfortunately I don't have the physical book to hold up, and that is because I never had the physical book. I checked this out on the app Hoopla using my library card, so this is the record for it, I guess you could say. However, the book also has been returned at this point, and on Hoopla you have a limited number of borrows, so I can't check it back out. But here is the cover. I don't know if you can see that. There's a woman in a chair, another woman standing up. It still says Still Sick, there's Volume 1, and Akashi. Small plug here. If you do not have your public library card, go get your public library card. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So many free resources beyond just books. I know at my public library you can go out and check out passes to the zoo or to the local museum or Wi-Fi hotspots, which have actually saved my working day a time or two when the internet has gone out. So I really recommend getting a public library card. Also, because with a public library card, they usually also have online resources you can use, such as, in my case, Hoopla. I think a lot of different libraries use this resource. It's an app, and then you enter your library information and you can get a certain number of books a month. There are other apps that are unlimited. Hoopla, however, tends to have a very wide collection, much wider than your library's personal collection, and your library card gets you borrows for free. And I know with my public library, the number of borrows on this is 10 a month, and between the other apps that are unlimited, the physical library where I get books, and Hoopla, I've never run into a problem with that limit. So I read this on Hoopla. This was a book that I do not believe my public library system has. I was able to access it and read it right here on my tablet. I don't own a e-reader specifically, but ever since receiving a tablet, I have gotten more into reading ebooks. Previously, I just had to do it on my phone, so that was a hindrance, but on this is bigger, and I'm really enjoying branching out into some of the stuff that Hoopla has that my public library doesn't have, which is what led me to read this book. So in this book, or in this manga, there are two women who work in an office, which I should immediately say was refreshing. I like manga that isn't necessarily centered around high school or high school girls or high school boys. Nothing wrong with it. I eat that stuff up too. But it's nice to see people or stories that branch out beyond that. For example, another series I like is Yotsuba. I hope I'm saying that correctly, which is about a father figure and a child. There's a lot of ones that are beyond high school, but this one is also beyond high school. It's about two adult women in the workforce, and I just find that a very refreshing change of pace. I was already very intrigued. These two women are, I have their names here, Makoto Shimizu and Akane Maekawa. So the first one, Makoto Shimizu, is in the research and development engineering department, and she seems to be very, maybe withdrawn a little bit. She acts a little different, but otherwise does perfectly fine work. And then we have Akane Maekawa, who's very outgoing, very bubbly, a high energy kind of personality. I definitely relate myself more to Akane Maekawa. Shimizu, however, and Akane Maekawa is in General Affairs department. I'm not really sure what General Affairs does. I don't know if it's like an HR department or a maintenance department. She's in that department. It feels more like an HR department though. Makoto Shimizu, however, has a little side hobby where she draws like girl love comics, and then she sells them at these conventions, and she runs into her co-worker at one of these conventions, Akane Maekawa, at the convention, which is horrifying to her because she wants to keep this little girl love thing a secret. And that has failed because now this very bubbly, outgoing co-worker of hers has kind of discovered a secret by finding her reading these magazines. Now, and the story kind of develops from there. At this point, you probably already know what the series is going to be about. This is a cheesy series. You can already tell it. And I'm not really the kind of person who reads these. I think they're called yuri. So like two girls who have a romantic or a very close interest. People can correct me if I'm not using that term correctly. I think it's yuri. I'm not really big on that, or I shouldn't say I'm not really big. I'm not opposed to it, but I don't gravitate towards it either. I really, really like slice of life manga. or shoujo manga. Oh good, my roommates are playing very loud music. I live in a house with 6 people. It is out of hand. But anyways, it's very clear where the story is going. There's 2 women, one of them who has a secret interest, and it turns out Akane, Maekawa, has her own little dark past secret, and they kind of connect over it. They do all sorts of cliche stuff that I eat up. The thing where they're fighting over something and then one of them falls on the bed over the other person, or the situation where their faces are both like suspiciously close to each other and they're like, oh my god, what is going on? Cheesy, cliche as hell. But do I eat it up? Yes. So I don't think there should be any judgment. This is a judgment-free zone for manga, okay? Judgment-free zone. I eat that up when every once in a while. I will say that this sort of stuff I do kind of prefer when this content is centered around adults. I will say that. So I find that very nice. I don't know if I really particularly like the sexualization of teenage girls in high school, reading it as content when I'm not a teenager myself. It was interesting per se when I was in high school, but as an adult, I'm like, I'd rather just read about adults. The exception to that, which it's a little different, I talk about it before, was my favorite manga series of 2021, which was No Matter How I Look at It, It's You Guys Fall I'm Not Popular, but that has a very different vibe than Still Sick Volume 1. Very different vibe at all. But if you haven't read No Matter How I Look at It, It's You Guys Fall I'm Not Popular, go check out that series. Wonderful, wonderful series about teenagers, but very, very good. This one, very clear what's going on, very clear what's going to happen, but I still ate it up because I eat this sort of stuff up. So I will be getting volume 2 because the story is on a cliffhanger, but as someone who's read more than one manga series in my lifetime, I know what's going to happen. And am I still going to read it? Absolutely. So if you're looking for a comfortable, fun read where you kind of just know the beats of the story, but you want to sink in and enjoy it, I recommend Still Sick. I find wow, my thing is rotating all sorts of degrees. Still Sick. Again, that's Still Sick, Volume 1 by Akashi. Obviously, I'll have everything written down so you can find it. I recommend it. I like it. If you like Yuri, I think that's the name of it, this might be a good read for you. I think this is very, very interesting. And now my roommates have interrupted my train of thought. Yeah, or if you read Yuri, if you're a little bit more of a connoisseur, as opposed to me who has just run into it every once in a while in my manga adventures, please let me know how this rates, if you think this is real trash, if you think this is cliche but you like it. I know it's cliche. You don't have to tell me this is cliche. This is very cliche. Please let me know what you think about it and what you thought about this series. I'm really interested in hearing your thoughts. Other than that, everyone, I hope you have a great Monday and a great day.